Welcome to this ICF Slalom podcast episode, part of the series running until the Los Angeles 2028 Olympic Games. We bring you the inside stories from around the globe from the people who make canoe slalom so special. Here's your host, John Gregory.
A warm welcome to our 6th episode of this special daily series. Thanks for joining me. We bring you a short daily episode guiding you on what to expect the next day at the ICF 2025 Canoe Slalom and Kayak Cross World Championships and a recap on the last day's racing in Penrith, Australia. I'm joined again by Australian Olympic silver medalist Danielel Woodward. In yesterday's competition, we witnessed the women's and men's canoe semi-finals and finals, results coming ahead of a preview of the men's and women's kayak semi-finals. First, we congratulate new first-time world champions in both men's and women's C1. In the C1 men semi-final, fastest was Nicolas Gastin from France, and in the C1 women semi-final, fastest was Kimberly Woods from Great Britain. Consequently, both were last off in the final. Conditions were windier than the athletes would have liked, particularly during the semi-final runs. So then, coming to the finals, in C1 men, double European champion Ryan Wesley from Great Britain took an early lead and stayed there until the very last boat down. Nico Gastin again looked calm and in control as everyone held their breath to see the final outcome. And yes, Olympic champion Nico Gastin took his first senior world championship title with a clear run almost a second ahead of Ryan Wesley and Kaylin Bassett from Australia. In the C1 women, patience and resilience has paid off for Klaudia Zwalinska from Poland, a first senior world title. She had taken a junior world championship title in K1 in 2016 and ultimately converted into gold as her first C1 women medal. Klaudia was 4 seconds quicker than Kimberly Wood's semi-final run and with the fastest raw time by over 2 seconds. She won ahead of Alzu Minazova, paddling as an individual neutral athlete, and Ana Satila from Brazil, her second medal of these championships. Many of the women and a couple of the men race again in the kayak semi-finals this morning. An interesting fact, I think the last women's canoe slalom senior world championship gold was 1975. Despite no medals for Slovakia in C1, I must point out they had 3 boats in the final, the only national federation to do so far. I was also fortunate enough to have commentated on the 1994 and 95 races when Mikael Martikan made his debut. He's an absolute legend. So with that, let me come back to Danielel Woodward.
You competed against Mikael Martikan. Well, not competed against, he was in a different class, but at the 96 Olympics in Atlanta, and he's racing again.
Yes, I can't believe, but he was so young then too. So
17.
It's pretty impressive. He was very, very young, but that's impressive. He and Stepanka Hilgotova actually raced until she was in her late 40s, I think. And even Dave Ford, who has given up now, he raced into his 50s. He was still making, because there's such a technical component to slalom that you can, that fitness is everything, but your technical prowess and your decision-making, can make that split-second difference. So it allows quite a longevity in the sport despite the physical nature of it. I'm on the ICF executive on the board, and so I'm one of the jury members that will be overseeing any of the protests that come in with any queries and things that come in. And the jury is like a tribunal that will sit if it can't be resolved through the normal processes. So there's 3 of us that will be doing that throughout the championships. And I'm also the Oceania Secretary General, so we'll be, obviously looking out for athletes that are coming from New Zealand, Australia, Tonga, any from the Cook Islands, so, that we can help make sure that they're having a good time there as well. Having a World Championships, this is only the second time in 20 years that we've had the senior worlds in this country, and it's a big thing. They cost a lot of money. They bring in a lot of revenue, but I'm really, really excited to see, a sport that when I was growing up was almost solely European and we had to spend our life overseas to, coming, to having the legacy venue of Penrith from the 2000 games and to see our second World Championships a generation on in our own backyard is just so exciting.
That was Danielel Woodward. She represented Australia at the Olympics in Barcelona, Atlanta and Sydney. She spoke to us from Penrith, Australia. Next in the race schedule are kayak semi-finals, where the top 12 progressed to a one-run final. So who will be crowned 2025 kayak world champions? So a recap of defending champions. Reigning champions from the last Worlds at Lee Valley in 2023 with Jo Clark from Great Britain and Jess Fox from Australia. Jo was among the surprises not making the cut to the semi-final after taking silver in the kayak cross individual at the start of these championships. Winners from the Paris Olympics were Jess Fox from Australia and Giovanni De Janeiro from Italy. Again, Jess is not competing in Penrith while recovering from surgery, and Giovanni was 21st in the kayak individual qualification heat. So 2025 World Cup Series winners were Kimberly Woods from Great Britain and Titouan Kastrick from France. And finally, fastest in the kayak heats a couple of days ago were Ricarda Funk from Germany and Jakub Krejci from Czechia. So after the fourth day's racing, France lead the medal table with 3 golds. Actually, all their medals are gold. France is ahead of Czechia with 2 golds. In tomorrow's episode, we will recap on the women and men's kayak finals and preview the kayak cross head-to-head. Thanks to my guest today, Danielel Woodward. If you enjoy the podcast series, tell other people. Send them a link, like, follow, or write a review. If you need more, keep reading Ettore Evaldi's brilliantly insightful and eloquent blog. I'm John Gregory. I'll be back in our next episode, released tomorrow at 6 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Thanks for listening.
That's it for now, but please subscribe to the podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Spotify or YouTube and leave a review too. Until the next episode, keep it fast and clean.